Ready, we're on the internet.
Oh my god, thanks a million.
Hello,
for
Internet.
that.
Internet.
Hello, internet.
How are you today, Internet?
Howdy.
How we are every night. Terribly.
Perpetually angry.
Pretty pleased I'm in an office.
Nicely done.
Achievement
Well.
unlocked.
Would you guys like to play some Dungeons and Dragons today?
Oh, yes.
Yeah, we should.
Thought you'd never ask.
Well, you guys, I'm sure, remember exactly what happened with no need for any recap whatsoever.
None, not at all. No, what the fuck happened?
Actually, I had to look it up myself, too, because I was like, how did it end?
That's the one part I remember.
Wudao and Ratscratch woke up and everything's fine. No problem.
Totally
here
peachy,
whatsoever.
no problems at all.
And we'll go with that.
Whatsoever.
That seems totally safe. To
They're
just
no
assume.
different.
No
We're
problem.
they were
definitely on
before.
track and making really good progress toward our original goal.
Right?
That
Which
one's actually
was
pretty close to
what?
being true.
The one shot's almost done.
Yep.
2 years later.
Plus 3.
That's always up to you guys.
No.
All I want to do is drink and find a siphon. And drink
Find the siphon.
and find a siphon.
Okay, so some good references to the siphon. That lets me know that you guys remember what happened. As a reminder for everybody else, our intrepid group has been in the Underdark for some time in the city of Dweller's Den, looking to uncover the plot against the king in the overworld, hoping to find enough evidence on behalf of Lord Mentor to take down Lord Hollis and his co-conspirators. The group has found a significant amount of evidence, and even some that point to the co-conspirators, though they have been speaking in code and using signals, so more will need to be deciphered. However, in retrieving that evidence, which they did from a group called the Researchers, a formerly scholarly group in the city of Dweller's Den, they encountered, shall we say, some difficulties, resulting in the capture of one of their members, Ratscratch. Successfully having retrieved Ratscratch from the dungeons of the Researchers, they discovered that the dungeons were no mere prison cells, but were instead an area of the Hall of Learning, the Researchers' headquarters, that was under the influence of a magical artifact. This artifact, known as the Siphon, had subdued a significant number of prisoners, including one of the former council of the Researchers, the archivist Thalrin. Having rescued the group and having no casualties, and by no casualties I mean several of the group fell influence to the Siphon at the same time that they were attempting to rescue the group, rescue Ratscratch, they retreated to the High Wizard Alarin's quarters in his towers inside the Hall of Researchers. There, through some dispel magic and some lucky and very unlucky rolls, the group was able to break Wudao and Ratscratch out of the hold of the Siphon, sort of. Both of them have this overwhelming fixation that developed to return to the Siphon, though the rest of the group is mostly unaware. Some more obvious comments were dropped that the wizard seemed to have picked up on. But for now, the group has rested, recuperated, has evidence in hand, and really only needs to return to the surface in order to complete their mission. You are in the High Wizard Alarin's study, having had your night's rest. Things are looking up, and you are preparing to make your departure. What would you guys like to do?
Are we rested?
You did. If you remember, you went into the magical mansion.
Did everyone rest though?
I believe so.
After
Yeah.
we-
Yep.
We should all be rested now.
We're all rested.
And I think that was when we had just gotten done with our long rests, which was when I got up, and now you had walked in the room to check on Wudao. I was standing there with Alarin.
And Thalarin.
Was Thalarin there? I couldn't remember. I thought he had went somewhere else because he was doing other things.
And Thalarin's Yasi's boo,
wait.
right?
Well, he-
Thalarin is not Yasi's boo, though
No.
maybe. I think Wudao is Yasi's boo
So,
now.
thought about it.
exactly. There's a love
Oh my
triangle
gosh,
going
no.
on, remember?
Yeah, okay.
They're love triangled right now.
Or I think he does.
Is
I don't care.
is Thalarin here currently?
That's
Yeah,
what I
he
was.
is.
I couldn't
Yeah.
remember because
Okay.
I had specifically asked Alarin, but I did not say anything to Thalarin. So
All right.
that's why.
You remember that there were some meaningful glances exchanged between Thalarin and Alarin in response to Ratscratch's comments that he made immediately after breaking
Right.
out. I want to
Right.
return to the siphon, things like that.
Yeah.
Cause some sort of like, this isn't quite right looks
Yes,
that were going on
correct.
between
I know
them.
I'm apprehensive, but I also am not fully alerted. Yeah, I know where my mind space was at the end of that, but I guess I'll turn to Alarin and Thalarin and just ask, do you guys have any notes on the siphon? Because it seems like you guys have dealt with this object before.
Well,
Can I
Archivist Thalarin
try to
kind of
eavesdrop
interjects.
in on this conversation
You
without?
had walked into the other room and
Oh,
would not
okay.
be able. I mean, like, you can try. You can certainly try, but I'm
I
just
don't
saying
know
you
it
walked into
exists.
the other
I don't know
room
it
and were-
exists. So I
But
mean,
I'm
that's okay.
You were bevving and noshing, if I remember
I
correctly,
am.
for breakfast.
Yep.
Wudao was there though. Isn't he like on the
there or
ground?
no?
So,
Wudao could still be there.
so we have the study, and then we
That's
basically
great.
have everywhere else within the tower, which is all the magical mansion realm.
Mhm.
So for now, what we can say is that, if I recall last time, almost everybody was in the room to assist the reviving of all of them. So if anybody has left, and I don't know if you did actually leave, Ryan, or not. It was kind of in that like,
Well, I left with.
Things
I,
are happening.
Yeah, I left with Calla to
with
go get a
Calla,
drink.
and yeah,
Okay,
they were
okay.
they were partying up a little
We
bit.
went to go
now
drink.
that they're back together.
Perfect. Okay, so in that case, then we don't have to worry too much. The two of you would then, if you have left the room into the magical mansion, will not be able to hear what's going on outside of it. You can go out and listen, of course, as this isn't any sort of a private conversation right now. It's in a study with a couple of
Yeah.
people standing around, but you won't be able to hear what's happening.
If I hear
right
the word siphon, I'm going to try to make my way towards the conversation. But if I don't hear the word siphon,
Okay. You don't. Wudao, what you do, though, of course. And then what's the question you want to ask? Hey,
was
what do you
just
know
asking if
about
they-
the siphon?
I just was asking if they had any notes. That's more or less because they're part of the research core. They had talked about it in the back,
Yeah,
and
Thalarin
Thalarin
answers.
was like,
Yeah.
I need to do stuff with this thing, and it's like, okay, well, I'd like to know more about what it is we're dealing with here. So for me, it's just research.
Excellent. He answers a little bit sheepishly, though. He said, well, I may not know everything there is to know about it, considering how I was under its influence for so long, but it was an artifact I sought for my collection for some time. For those capable, it was said to be able to shape reality into the dreams of the user.
Right.
And it was said to be fueled by those not capable of wielding it. Thus its name, the Siphon. I believed myself capable, though it seems we have ended up somewhere in the middle, where some of reality was shaped by the Siphon, and some of my outcomes were, he sighs a little bit, subject to the Siphon itself.
But do you know possibly where it came from? What?
Yeah, you know, that was
Who created
many
it?
of the things that I was looking to learn and solve in my studies of it. But if I did manage to take any notes before I fell swayed to its influence, they certainly aren't with me now.
I think it's very important that we resecure the artifact.
That may not be a bad idea, Master Monk. I could at least learn more about it and
It's clearly very powerful.
save those
We're using it
individuals.
for terrible ends, and I feel it would be better in our possession.
Valren nods. Alarin hesitates a little bit, and you notice his eye kind of slide over towards you. This is kind of a weird thing to force you to do, but go ahead and roll a deception check.
No, that's fine.
Hey kid, you want a siphon?
You want a siphon, bro?
I got some siphons for you.
Bro?
Deception is a 0 for 16. I have 16 total.
Okay, his eyes kind of slide past you. He's tense, but he doesn't seem to shift his demeanor at all. Alarin looks back at the rest of you gathered around. With Valren here at my disposal, we could get you guys out of Dweller's Den, perhaps on the road back to the surface. And perhaps if you're lucky enough into one of the coin outposts and
I have a question. No, sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, no, sure. Are you Yasi asking a question, interrupting him, or are you?
No, I was
Nerali
asking.
DM.
Nerali asking DM. But go ahead.
Yeah, so he finishes perhaps one of the coin outposts. Their teleportation circles could get you further, but seems like a wise time to leave Dweller's Den for you all now.
I mean, are you going to be able? My question here is: you are 2 versus an entire army of possibly your fellow kin and members of Loth.
Well,
you have no idea who is a conspirator in this whole.
Kerfuffle.
Yeah,
Lauren smiles at
in
you.
this den of just snakes, probably.
Well, actually, before you do answer this, because I think this
Yeah,
is
go ahead.
relevant. You said Ratscratch had those letters, right? That said, the wizard Kopeth may have.
You were
right?
researching them.
That's why I was
reading them.
asking, because you said the letters, said something about Kopeth actually being.
You haven't read that letter
Potentially.
though. You
But
haven't
I don't know. Because I told Matthew I spent like that whole night pretty
Yes.
much just reading through those letters. So I guess the question to you, DM,
Yes.
is did I at some point maybe like read the part where the suggestion of Kopeth being a sneaky man was revealed?
I don't want to say. I don't. If you haven't figured it out, I don't want to say it yet.
I mean, all I know is that in
no,
the letter
you
it
have
said
not seen anything or any letter that reflects that whatsoever.
Okay. All right, continue.
Excellent. Alarin looks up at your question, Kaydren, and says, "You were right. We certainly wouldn't want to take on the researchers, not knowing what has happened, what the lay of the land is. The one thing that you all have made clear to us is that they are relying on aid and supplies from the surface. Without those, surely, natural order will shift back once again in Dweller's Den, and the schemes and plots will be weakened, and the opportunity for those who have switched allegiances to come switch again to the right side will be there. After all, this is the Underdark. Shifting allegiances are to be expected, but the key in this plan is that those supplies from the surface must be stopped. You all have the same interest for different reasons. You want to stop the war on the surface and win. We do both by you proving and destroying those elements on the surface.
These are all true things, but at the same time, you have an entire, it seems, army of researchers probably that have been locked away using this device, would it not behoove you to at least get a foothold with taking care of that first?
Well, we
Then send
could
us on our way? Because, I mean, it seems like you could probably use a hand with this thing.
make a
And then-
persuasion check.
And then we can be on our way up to the surface.
At the very least, it's very important that I believe we secure that artifact.
Oh, natural 20.
For a total of?
Persuasion, it's going to be real high. 26.
He looks fairly convinced. He kind of shrugs at Thalrin. If they want to help, they want to help. I'm not sure we're used to this kind of idiocy or heroism or whatever you want to call it, but I say we take them up on it. They both kind of look towards you, look around the room at the wounds and recently recovered members, and glance towards the doorway of the magical mansion. Not in a way that is arrogant or condescending, but in a truly intellectual way go, how do you propose you all help?
Well, we need to find a way to be able to break all the other people that were under the spell of this object out of it.
Perhaps we take it with us, and then they can no longer be affected.
Well, I don't know. Yeah, I don't know if they were being affected because it was on the device that it was being encased by, and that's what was causing the issue with it. Because it did look like this is out of game. That did look like a device, right? It was like something else was attached to it, or was it just kind of like floating, or because it was encased in a dome.
That's
on
right.
a thing, but was there anything else about the thing? Like the thing? The
no, it's
pedestal
just
was
a
on was
mount that had
nondescript?
some sort of crystal dampener, and you learned that Thalrin suspects that he did some sort of dampener or field that manipulated it slightly, but there's no object. It's in a case that you haven't been able to break it out of, and you
Right.
suspect the case is somehow reducing its effect or modifying the effect. And Thalrin thought he had done that to allow him to study it. It may or may not be responsible for this kind of item not working as expected for Thalrin.
Can I
Right.
ask them what the range, if they have, if they've in their notes or in their studies determined the range of effect on the device? Because obviously it's well, unless there's a trigger, if you boop it, then it activates. But obviously there are people in the area after you get to a certain space that aren't affected by it, assuming it is an AO, a range type thing. So I was asked if they know if there's a range. Maybe you can dump it in the ocean and can just control a bunch of fish. Who knows?
They look over at you, surprised and confused at the plan to control fish, but both of them sort of expecting that from you at this point. Surprisingly astute question, young druid. But no, not clear on the power of the siphon. Most of the stories speak of the death of those that are fueling its power. Potentially hundreds or thousands have died when truly ambitious people have held the siphon. But who knows whether those tales were exaggerated or not.
Well, that would explain all the bodies we passed on the way in there.
Mm.
Both Thalrin and Alarin look at you. Bodies? I thought they were just prisoners down there.
Oh no. Well, I'm sure they were, until they were bodies.
Until they hit the floor. They let the
Formerly known
bodies
as prisoners.
hit the floor.
I'm gonna pretend you didn't say that, Ratscratch.
Hey, yeah, no problem.
Okay.
If you could give you negative friggin' what is it? Inspiration, he would.
A
you notice
lightning
you
bolt
hear
emanates.
a scream of a goblin as Jort gets punished for some reason. The only thing in response to those comments is you see Thalrin, who had been starting to look a little more recovered, has that kind of haunted, heavy weight look kind of appear on him, and his shoulders slump a little bit. You get the sense that he's an academic and was just curious about these items and understands that some of his actions may have led to the deaths of others and isn't really taking it super well.
Okay, good. I was gonna ask for a perception check for that, or what is it?
An insight? Go ahead and give me an insight. See if you see anything more when you take a look at him.
Okay, because like he was the one that's been in it,
Kinda
like for a long time. So and I'm
certainly.
He was like, "Oh, we'll just take you over to what's his face," and I'm like, I still haven't trusted him. I've been inciting him the whole time. So, damn, dude, I'm rolling out.
Coming in hot with your
insight, dude.
rolls. Yep.
That's +7. 26 again. 19 + 7.
19 + 7, 26.
Yep.
Okay. You noticed something interesting. He's being totally genuine with you. You see that what he's doing is not an act. You get that these are the real senses of him. But there's this disconnect that is also with him. You get the sense like maybe he's not all there. Like it doesn't feel like a fully rounded person, or it potentially subject to some manipulation. You've seen the same for people that have been charmed over a long time. Like, you're only going to be happy. They're being truthful, they are happy, but there's just something a little bit off about all of their actions. And as you look at him, you notice that same kind of, he's kindly, he's thinking about all these things, but there's something missing. There's a piece that isn't connected properly. And it's a strange feeling you get as you look at him. You're not sure what the source of that is, but you have this distinct sense that there's more to that picture than you're seeing.
Now I'm gonna roll like garbage for the rest of the night, but hey, I got there.
Dude, you got over a 25 on an insight check on an archivist. Like, that's pretty good. Like, you should be pretty happy about that.
My character has super high a stat for the insight, so.
And the 19 doesn't hurt either. All right, Ratscratch, Calla, you guys are enjoying drink after drink of the in the Tavern of Infinite Drinks, as most magical mansions are. This one's interesting because it seems to keep recasting itself. It's there whenever you want it to be there. So
that's perfect.
This is a true wizard's tower.
At some point, I look over to Calla and I say, "Now what?"
Nap.
Yeah.
They're only
you by the way, have been awake for like 2, maybe 3 hours.
Yeah.
At this
How
point,
many drinks have we had?
But it's enough.
2 or 3 hours.
I got a song I'm gonna work on, I think.
Let's take a nap first.
Okay.
Okay.
I got the lyrics rattling around in my head. They're like,
Siphon ball.
"Hey, hey, Siphon, it's calling to me, Siphon."
Terrible song. Maybe you shouldn't take a nap. Maybe you should stay awake, but never write that song.
Oh, okay. All right.
Pick a different.
It's already
career.
been written.
Okay. I'll keep working on it. I'll keep working on it.
Don't. I didn't. No.
I'm just workshopping. I'm just
workshopping.
workshopping it here. It's
Underdark, are you ready to siphon?
I want to be back in the Siphon. No, I don't know. We'll figure it out.
I'd like to siphon this memory out.
Yeah.
I put the fun in siphon.
Yeah.
I put the sigh in.
You know, of all the things I did or didn't think today's session would be. A musical was not on my
Yeah.
list, so
You always
well
gotta have
done.
I'm excited for the AI to go, and then they started singing about siphons.
Hey, hey, siphon.
The AI is not going to recognize it as singing if it
Well.
sounds the way it sounds.
Well, if I said it, now it knows.
Ratscratch got a new instrument, and I'm looking for it, and I don't remember where I put it. Hold on. I'll be right back.
Oh, we got a
get all the bleeps and bloops.
stay tuned
Under-
Is he
camera
gonna
shot
bleep
here.
bloop
Yes.
some siphon?
While they're all doing this, Matthew, can I
Yeah.
be like, I'm going to excuse myself because it just sounds like nonsense, gook, and read more of these letters and stuff.
Papers?
Yeah, Thalrin and
papers.
Lauren, comfortable that you guys are going to come up with some sort of plan, make their way off into the mansion as well. Being a place that essentially has whatever it needs, they excuse themselves and retire to discuss further, not what they're going to do about the siphon, but what they're going to do about the entire city of Dweller's Den overall. And they both seem to have a particular interest as you hear them walking away, discussing how to save their researchers. You get a good sense that both of them are hurt by the place that they have come to. I will let you read from these as much as you want to. What languages do you speak again?
Druidic.
I speak Druidic, Common, Sylvan, and Grung.
Okay.
Oh, you speak frog?
Yeah, I
It's
forgot
the
you
most
speak frog.
random, the most
Or as
random
one might
language you
say,
can have.
Ribbit.
Rebe.
Yeah, frog is a very French language. Yeah.
It's the French dialect of frog. If you are a French frog from the swamps
like a
of
French
the
frog.
bayou of
French
Louisiana.
frog, if you will, yeah. Technically, that is kind of derogatory because.
Yeah, it's a bit frog eating
Little bit,
Frenchman.
yeah.
Yeah, but
Okay, so you're reading through the things that you have in front of you. Some of them are written in languages you can't understand. The majority are written in Common. You've already deduced that, and if you remember, you had an incredibly good roll last week when you were trying to read them. You've already
I'm in the
deduced
zone.
what they are, and so you're trying to make your way through coded correspondence right now. So it's
Between
written.
the hawk and. I can't
Yeah,
remember the
so
other thing. It was the
I
hawk
saw
and
letters
something
from
else.
Hollis to the Dweller's Den, shipments of supplies to Dweller's Den, and wanted some aid for an ally to the north. Hollis did, who was represented by a hawk. Not the Hollis, but the ally to the north.
Yes.
yeah, you also found sigil rings that
yeah,
were
yeah.
in there.
Spider,
a dove, a wolf.
stag, and hawk.
Yep, you
There's
got
also
it.
a wolf. Oh, okay.
in my drunken state, I suddenly remember that I'm super sober, not at all. I suddenly remember that I have a letter that I've been like keeping on me. Is it still on me? Like I'm sitting here
Which
just
letter?
like the letter, the letter, the
Having a nightmare flashback? Well, you have multiple letters that matter
I
to you,
do,
Ratscratch,
I do.
so I'm asking
No,
which
the
one you're
one
looking
that I
at.
stole, the
The one that was haunting you,
no, the one implicating
haunting?
the
Kopeth.
Kopeth.
You check. You had kept it in your fur.
Yes, and my feathers.
It's not there.
Ah, shit. Balls. All right, never mind.
Do you check your other feathers?
I'm gonna check everywhere. I'm checking
Just lint.
everywhere.
Piles of
Ah.
lint. There's like a lint pile as tall
You
as-
know, like when you're like, okay, keys, watch, wallet,
Yep.
phone, like
But-
that. Like so, Ratscratch is just like,
I just start patting you down. I don't realize that you're looking for something. I think you're just like
I'm Macarena-ing, you know?
no,
Making a beat.
I start drumming on you
Yeah, hell yeah.
aggressively, but it's fine.
I don't find it. I don't find it. Shit.
Did you
Go.
say that as in character or?
Yeah. It's not here.
Yeah.
It's not here.
Are you
It's not here.
trying to find the beat? What are you trying to find?
The letter
Sorry.
we got from what's her faces.
Do I know about this letter?
Yasi and I had a thing. The espionage.
That really clears it
The
up.
espionage?
What was that woman's name? Out of character here. What was her name?
Leona?
No,
No. That's
Guard Captain Chespa.
Yeah,
Chespa. Chespa.
Chespa.
Chespa. No.
She's long gone.
Yes.
Vespa?
Yeah, long gone.
Chespa's
Why didn't we
letter.
call her Vespa? though?
Yeah, I know. Why didn't we call her
Chestnuts.
Vespa? Chestnuts roasting. No. Guard Captain Chespa. Her letter, implicating Kopeth. No, not Kopeth. Yeah, Kopeth.
Yes,
Yes, Kopeth.
correct.
It was a whole thing. I started. That's not here. I need to go back. The siphon, it calls me.
No, no, it doesn't.
The
God.
Oh my
No.
god, what the
It's the
was
siphon. It's the siphon.
You know, that's a pretty good representation for what the siphon is.
Does that have a face?
It does have
Yeah.
a
Does that
face.
thing
Does
have
have
a
a face.
face?
It does have a
Yeah.
face.
Really?
His talking jizz thing over there. Yeah.
That is amazing. Tell me
Oh,
that's the
it's getting
instrument.
cut out. It's getting cut out.
Oh
right
yeah,
now.
CRISPR's probably fucking
CRISPR's
killing it.
just-
CRISPR
just
doesn't
killing
CRISPR's
it.
killing it.
CRISPR was
It's
like,
not
I
right.
CRISPR
know.
doesn't appreciate art, don't worry.
That was not what I was expecting.
That's
No.
amazing.
I bought
I
it
got
solely
this
for
helmet over
D&D.
here.
It's kind of amazing that those things are funny.
Ah, they're great.
Mhm. Weird.
All right, gang. If you
Where were
are plotting, this is the time to plot.
Do I read anything more?
Give me an intelligence check. We'll try and see if you can decipher as the time goes by.
I will not decipher today. I rolled a 5, but let me see. I have like a +1 to intelligence.
Yeah, it's well
Roll to
coded stuff.
decipher.
It's gonna take a lot of time, and you may never decode the cipher. So
Yeah, it's a 6.
okay, yeah, nothing doing. You sort of feel like you're doing like a puzzle, you know?
Okay. I'm gonna give up for now. I'm tired. My brain hurts.
Okay.
I'm gonna come back to the room and ask everyone what the plan is.
So you guys are split right now. You got some of you are inside the mansion, and the rest of you are in the study outside of it.
Oh, I'm gonna be like, you're an archivist, right? You know things.
Archivist Thalrun and High Wizard Alarin have left
Of
while you were
course.
doing that.
Never mind. I'm gonna ask the party what they're up to.
I think
Well,
we
I'm-
go back, we recover the artifact before they move it.
We recovered the artifact.
It's clear that they're going to be aware that somebody's tampered with it. We should get it before they do.
Get
So
it.
we walk back into the room with the rest of them.
I'm like, that sounds like a
Okay,
great
thank you,
ass.
Zach.
Sounds like
I'm basically saying that to
This is
Kaydren.
now a conversation between us.
As Kaydren's walking in, that's basically what I'm saying as we walk
Yeah.
through the door.
Yeah.
I'm gonna tell
Okay.
Wudao. That sounds like a great idea. That's probably the right thing to do.
Absolutely. It's killing people. We need to get it out of
And
here.
I tell him like, and I'm not saying that because like I'm into you or anything. I'm just saying that that's a good idea.
In Yassi's voice, I say, I'm into you.
No, I said I'm not into you. Oh, did you say I'm?
Yeah, but
You.
He can take
Alright.
anything.
I'm into
Yeah, that's
you.
fine. But I tell Wudao
I'm into
that
you.
because
I'm getting mixed signals.
well, Ratscratch is into you and I'm not. It's not that confusing.
Yeah, but the problem is that it sounded like you, so that's where.
And I was looking
that's
at
where-
Kaydren the whole time.
Because
Well,
you're actually into Kaydren.
Why are you looking at me?
Because I'm.
Anyway, I'm gonna tell
I think
Wudao
it's a
that.
great idea to try to at least get the cipher out of whatever that object is that it's encased with. It seems like it's doing something weird to the cipher, so.
Yeah.
And hopefully if we break that, it wakes up everybody that's affected by it. You know?
Sounds like a quick trip down to the corner store. Should only take a day.
Yeah, hopefully. I mean, we have 2 high wizards. If they take us both with it, they can just teleport us there. We literally go right back to where we were. I mean,
This seems like a good idea.
Yeah.
Where did
Where'd they go?
Where did they go?
Right now, you're surrounded in the magical mansion with lots of servants.
we can
if you
always
remember.
ask one of the servants to go fetch them
Yeah.
if we need more. But I mean, Thalarin knows exactly where that location is because, well, he is one of the researchers. He knows where that hall is. We could either A, work our way there. We can go somewhere close and then work our way back up. We can teleport. Worst case scenario, up into what was the tree place called again? Damn it.
Oh, the roof. The treetop inn.
Yeah, is the treetop in? Okay. We can teleport to the treetop inn and work back our way down through the sewers because we know the way. We can. It just depends on where they can take us after that. But I mean,
Maybe they can disguise us as guards and then take us down there, and we can say we're just cleaning the siphon.
yeah,
we have to do the daily
got
clean.
the siphon
Cleaning the
maintenance.
siphon.
You have to clean the siphon. You have to make sure you get
We needed to
dusty
polish
and-
the siphon.
Yeah, we
Michael,
come with our
we'll put the
Windex
siphon
and we're
on.
ready to clean the siphon, and we have to do the monthly maintenance for the siphon, make sure everything's working. Maybe
if you
we
wanna
just
do
ask
that
them.
story, all of you. I'll let you.
I feel
sweet
like if
talk
we
the
disguise
guards.
ourselves as guards and then just say that, we can be like, what kind of upkeep does a siphon need? And maybe the wizards have from their research know that the siphon does require, and we can,
You need an oil
convince
change
them-
every 15,000
Yeah, but if the
miles.
wizards have some like elite
15,000
knowledge
nightmares.
and we
Yep.
can use that to
Every
convince
15,000.
people,
That's
it
possible.
could work.
But just remember, a lot of people there are now very familiar with my face.
No, that's why we get disguised as guards. Like
If
these
they
are
have that
masterful
ability-
Don't
wizards.
disguise our
If
face.
they have that ability, sure.
I think Kopeth
I
and
have
Valrin.
that ability.
I know, Ratscratch.
To do all
but
of
there's
us?
5
To
of
disguise
us.
all of us, or just you?
Mm,
I mean, listen, the guy made an entire moving caravan. He can turn us into guards.
He has a moving caravan. It doesn't mean he has the spell to
I-
make us guards.
We could ask him.
Certainly.
Hey, servant
Magic
creature.
is magic, right? I mean, you can do everything.
Exactly.
She's like, hey, servant!
Servant creature.
Like to speak
servant
to the
creature.
Excuse me, sir. I'd like to speak to your manager, please.
Yeah.
I'd like to speak to your
Servant
manager.
completely
I'm
unperturbed by
disappointed with
any
these
sort of
breadsticks.
behavior.
Bring me hardtack.
I'm not coming from a place of like classism because I don't know that. So it just sounds shitty, but it's not
Don't
like
see
ill
class.
intentioned.
The servant, how can we help you? Would you like more
Can you
hardtack
smell-
or wine or what
And
can we do
I
for you?
stopped for a second, like, wait, there's. Well, first get me more hardtack, and then.
Thank you
can
very
you-
much. And he disappears to go get some
Shit.
hardtack.
Hey, you servant, other servant,
Second one,
other servant.
One
Yes,
job.
ma'am. How can we help you?
would you like more hardtack?
Drink? I would
Wait,
like a drink.
you
please.
could also get me hardtack. Okay,
yes, I
fine,
will
go get me
get you a drink
hardtack,
right
and
now,
then
and leaves to go get Calla a drink.
servant number three.
Can I get
There's
a...
brief lull in servants as a third one walks through the door? Yeah, ma'am. How can we help you? What can we do to make your stay better?
Can you go summon your masters? We have important business to speak of.
But first, whiskey.
First whiskey. Right you are,
Wait,
sir.
what about me? I said it first.
I will be right back. Thank you very much.
Fine.
And disappears.
Servant
The priority
four.
on cardinal needs first.
Servant 4.
Yes.
First and foremost, summon your masters. We need
Yes, I
them.
will. Thank you very much.
Ignore
Please
any
don't.
additional commands.
Yes, thank you. And I'll
Also,
wait. Is my hardtack here yet?
Not yet.
Wow.
Yeah,
So now I'll
complain
just
to
be
the manager.
like,
I would like to complain to your
I'm gonna
manager.
inch away from Wudao a little bit, make sure he's not getting weird messages from me like standing too close. I'm just gonna kind of like, peruse stuff on the wall until their masterlings arrive.
Whiskey, beer, and a tray of finely stacked,
Ooh.
neatly cut hardtack arrives for you all.
I'll stash it in my bag. I don't want it now.
You don't
It's
want
for later.
hardtack right now? What?
I
Are you
ate
feeling
so
okay?
much. I ate so much.
I'd have to
I'm
burn
only
spell
human.
For that.
You got a message in your Discord, Ryan.
I see that.
And as you're sitting down to enjoy your hardtack, in walks the High Wizard Alarin and Archivist Thalrin. And one slightly smaller servant than the rest of them.
I'm like, hey guys, we talked about it. We all agree that we should go back and recover the siphon. We all have different plans, but I was thinking, as far as you know, does a siphon need any kind of maintenance or upkeep? Whether it's like it needs to be greased or, magical cleansings. I don't know. Things like that.
Sure. I don't know where to begin with that question except
that
to
a yes?
say no.
Damn. Can you make up a reason to maintain it, or one that sounds legit?
You could potentially be studying the artifact, though it doesn't seem like those that are maintaining it are doing it in any sort of cataloging or controlling purposes, and certainly whoever put it there in the first place is the one that's most responsible for it.
I'm gonna be like, wait a minute. That's actually a good question. Do you have any idea, who would know about this siphon, or who may have, the knowledge to think to use this kind of siphon as, a prisoner control mechanism, torture device? Who's behind all this? Any ideas,
I mean,
theories?
Who would be somebody that
I
you
would
know
have
that
been the
has the
person
ability?
responsible beforehand. I was the archivist in charge of all of the items, so certainly.
And Thalrin is saying this?
Mm-hmm.
Wait,
but
so
they certainly don't know what happened since then.
So Thalrin, though, hold on. Thalrin, when we woke you up, you said that you had been sent down to do something with the right? When you thought
I
it was
wasn't.
some
I
kind
wasn't
of
sent
test.
down. I was in my
But what was the
storage, and I was
test?
going to observe and try and use the siphon.
Actually, what is the last thing you remember happening to you before you were in this prison?
Just excitement at the anticipation of studying the siphon.
Who
I
told
get
you
that.
And you said and you were studying it per someone's instruction, or?
I'm head archivist of the researchers. It would be natural for me to study.
And did you
use,
notice?
and benefit?
Did you notice anyone asking strange questions or showing a greater interest in the siphon than would be normal?
70 years ago. No, not that I can remember.
Okay.
Can I see if he's hiding? Because if
Yeah,
there's
yeah,
nobody
yeah.
else besides him, okay. Oh no! See, I told you.
All things
see.
in balance
Insight?
as the karmic dice return to the balance. Yes.
9.
Yeah, no, it seems to be telling the truth here. You get that same
So you
sort
don't
of
know-
openness from him.
Sure, but you don't know anybody else that could activate these items. I mean, you're all pretty.
Not to sound
Capable-bodied-
vain, but I don't know anybody that can activate these items properly, and certainly I was studying it for that purpose. And I don't know
Did you
anybody
have an-
better than the head archivists of the researchers.
Did
so
you have an understudy?
I had several wizards and researchers within my employ that would all be interested in artifacts and items. Certainly my entire branch within the researchers themselves.
Wait, so I'm going to ask Alarin, when did you leave the researchers? Was it within the 70 years, or
He's been missing for a while.
how long has he been missing?
I have been on my travels through other planes and places for quite some time, and time is not quite as linear in some of the places I've been
Well,
to, so it's a hard question for me
Do
to
you ever
answer.
remember being a researcher
But yes, I do
archivist at
remember
the same
indeed
time as
being.
Valorant?
I was not.
They
The
are
researchers have
bros,
many
so-
different interests and studies, and those that are field researchers, such as myself, that go out and explore, and those like Thalrin, whose responsibility is magical items and artifacts, thus the archivist. So, yes, I don't know what else to say to you.
Well, when we found Valorant and we said Alarin, a spark like lit up in his eye. I mean, that was the thing that kind of.
We certainly knew each other. We sat on the council and ran the researchers together. Of course, he would
So,
be
do you remember
excited
ever
to see.
hearing anything about the siphon? The researchers siphon
Oh,
going
I'm
missing?
sure it was in some dusty report or another, which I'm sure somewhere stacked inside of my.
Don't you have
caravan,
a
but,
spell?
can
Surely
I
you have like a little.
insight check that to make sure that he's telling the truth, that he might have information on that in
Yep,
his
give me
in his
an insight
fucking
check.
vehicle.
And while he does that, Matthew, presumably they have records that are vast as can be, and they must
I
have a
don't
way
know.
to quick search them. A magical way to control F,
A
right?
Rolodex.
A roll? No, really, like a magical
I feel
Rolodex
like
that finds
I need
words.
to make
and-
you watch that scene from the D&D movie where the wizard is explaining that magic doesn't do everything, but
Well, but they must. You can't have like infinite records and no efficient way to search them. So I'm just gonna
You
say,
absolutely
wait,
can.
you absolutely.
fine. Well, I'm
Our
gonna ask
entire
anyway.
industry in real life is pretty much predicated upon
Fine,
that.
shush, I'm
It's
just gonna
it's
ask
called a
Alara.
desk of absolute garbage.
I'm gonna ask Alara. I'm like, wait, is there any way, can your little minions here, like, do as quick of a search as they can to see if there are any records here that make comment about the an investigation or something about the siphon being stolen from the researchers?
You're asking a bunch of questions, and I will answer them, but I want to know Kaydren's insight check.
Oh, I don't know. You don't have to. It was
Apparently
a 1.
bad.
It was
I
a
don't know.
1?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. That seemed to be totally above board to you.
Yep.
The dice giveth, the dice taketh away.
That is true.
I mean, you're welcome to enter the caravan and search through whatever you want to. There's letters and course. Actually, that
Is it
might be
chronological
dangerous.
by topic or anything?
We know where the object is. Let's just go get it.
Chronological. I mean, I wasn't in a space where time was linear. I don't even know how to organize
fine.
chronologically.
Is
But
there any
Wudao, don't you want to know
organization
who
system?
actually like set all this up?
I think
I want to
something
know.
we could look into after we've secured the object.
True. You're not wrong.
Why don't you guys go and I'll work with these little minions to see if I can find out some more info.
At the very
Sure.
least, we'll be able to see who tries to come for it once we have it.
Yeah, who are we pissing off? Like, ugh.
Well, that's the true question.
The two wizards look at each other. So, what would you like to do? We have to focus on other matters.
The question
Send
is
us back
do you
to
have
the
means to get us into the room with the siphon again? And then can we
Uh,
dispel the
Key
shield that's
can't
on the
bring
siphon
you.
and take it?
Key's magic can only return you to me. It's actually
would have
kind
to
of a
be-
bit funny if you think about it.
Well, the next question is Thalrin, what room and where in this citadel is that? You knew that area that we were in, and you knew how to get here from Alarin, so do you know how to get back to...
Yes, certainly.
that area?
Things may have been moved around since I've been gone, but it was very much our archives, the place where I was most familiar with within the Hall of Learning. And you might refer to it as a basement, but that would be entirely underwhelming and demeaning for the noble place that it was, though it is descriptive of where it is relative to the rest of the hall.
Sure.
Which, if you guys think about it, kind of makes sense, because you came in through the sewer, so you had a good sense that it was at the bottom anyway.
Mm-hmm.
Can I get back? It's not a difficult stroll if we wanted to walk there from here. I understand that might not be the safest thing to do. Magical means that might be more difficult.
The last time I strolled, I was shot
by like 50 people
with
right?
lots of arrows.
I don't know if I'd call that a troll.
Yes, that's seems less than desirable.
I was
so-
arrowed.
Yes,
Arrowed.
Master Bird, I heard you the first time. I hope that's not a euphemism.
It could
Right.
It is now.
Is he always like this?
It's usually
Schrodinger's
worse.
euphemism. It is, and it's not.
It's usually worse, right? Right. Well, we've got some spells that will move us. They're usually between fixed points or returning to fixed destinations, such as this tower. There was one in the archives that we used for transporting objects, but as with any teleportation circle, the glyphs are sensitive, and I don't know how well they've been maintained. We could attempt to use that.
Wasn't there a teleportation glyph in the thing of the 5?
There may have been, yes.
But they don't know that. They've never seen it. You have to be able to. You have to have
Yeah.
seen a teleportation circle to be able to teleport to it. And not only that, but we don't know where that would actually take us ultimately, because it seems like the 5's location base thing goes wherever it pleases. From what we've observed, because we went into the 5 place in like some random cave, and then we went into the 5's place in some random sewer, and I think it's based off of the glyphs. So if there was a glyph, it goes there. But that's just my out of game hypothesis. That's not my character has no idea how that shit works. But
I could attempt to teleport you to the archives, but it's a risk that you would bear using that circle. The side effects could be uncomfortable.
How uncomfortable.
So uncomfortable you never realized that you weren't making it there?
That seems fine. Let's go.
I've been through a lot lately.
You'll be fine, Bird. Come on. You slept that one time. It'll be fine.
I thought you said you slut, and I was like,
Oh.
okay.
You bird slut.
You
Slut that
bird
one
slut.
time.
Oh.
You slutty bird.
You were a slut that one time.
Well, we could prepare it from here. Is that something you'd like to attempt?
I think it'd be better if we went there without getting arrowed.
Very well.
how far away from that location would we be?
You'd be in the archives.
Oh,
It's
we're in the archives. Oh, shit.
yeah. I had the teleportation circle installed. It seemed the safest way to, once we recovered magical artifacts, get them into the archives and secured. Not used all that frequently, but certainly could be useful for us now. And it's certainly a circle that I'm most familiar with. Assuming it's still there.
That sounds promising.
I feel confident.
Alarin waves his hand down the hallway of this never-ending series of reminding that it's like a quaint little town that wouldn't take him in the inn that he went to, and there's like nicer establishments down the road. But he waves his hand, and the magical mansion, while it has an infinite number of rooms, it just seems to stretch on these tiny little houses. Kind of connect to each other, and those are the little rooms. Third house down on the right should be the one with the teleportation circle, unless I moved it. But no, I think it's down there.
What sort of guarantee do I have that when we get there, my head's not going to be backwards? Or other
None.
things.
Well, I'm happy to give you a guarantee, because if that's the case, you won't be able to be angry at me.
I'll haunt you.
You can get in line.
What is this line?
But I can
I don't
haunt
know.
musically.
Are we calling that music or?
Oh no, I'm still learning this instrument. There's others.
I don't want to know.
You can learn that one when you're.
Lauren
alone.
stands up. Well, if you're ready, you can follow me and we can go down there.
Certainly.
Do you guys have any of those communication stones in case I find something while I'm trying to investigate this?
Oh yeah, I
Situations,
think
if I
I don't
learn
think I have
something.
any of those left.
I don't have any communication devices. I could make some in here, but they would stay in here once you left, so don't think so.
Can we communicate through these like little woodmen you have? These little creatures.
I do have
They too exist
sending-
only here.
I do have
Wait, but
sending
they
learned,
came
but
to
it's
the
a
thing.
third level spell, and I only
No,
get
it's not
2 of
worth it.
those.
Didn't they come to the? Didn't we summon them though? Didn't what's his face summon one in the prison? That's how he got us out. Remember?
He summoned
the
Key.
key was there.
Ooh.
No, can Key travel back? Like, can I? If I send a message, like if I find something, I tell Key. Can Key deliver that information to you guys?
And that would certainly work. Key, well,
And he can help
the-
me research, so it's perfect.
you used his spells last week, and it's a little bit. He smiles to himself. Alarin looks pretty pleased with himself. You may have noticed that the spell he cast last week was of a divine nature, which is strange for an automaton. But
Yeah, you did amazing.
To him, I'm his god, so his temple is here, so he just used his spell to recall to his temple, which is my home, as I am his deity. And he looks rather pleased with himself. So certainly, wherever he is, he can return to his temple. It's a one-way trip, though, so I couldn't necessarily reply.
Oh, while we're here, I just had a thought. You have the ability to identify items, correct?
Certainly, as most mages do.
Lovely. I have a few items that I would like to have looked at, because I don't know what they do or what they are. And
It's rather rude, I'm happy to do it for you, but, to walk up to a master mage and just expect him to identify
that's
a bunch
why I
of
was
items.
asking you first.
A simple please would have been very nice, but
That's why I asked kindly if you could please look at the. You interrupted me before I could ask you who, in the proper way you were asking.
Don't impugn my manners, sir. I was giving you the lesson.
Yes. Well, lesson learned greatly.
Spicy.
Could you please? I have some items here. If you could take a look at them, please.
Most
I
magnificent,
don't know
sir.
exactly what they
He
are.
waves his hand as if, just show me what you've got.
Yes, sure. I've got a thing called an ancient runed sphere, which we had picked
Ooh,
up at
This
some
is
point.
this is test the DM. So
Yes,
all right,
and-
hang on. Let me put
and
down
I
my
still-
dice.
And I have a staff / wand with a spider on it.
Oh my god!
From the
All
very
right.
first fight we were ever in the
You
Underdark.
son of a bitch!
The one where we killed each other. That one.
I can't believe you still have that. First, oh my
I was
god,
in
that's
my
on my.
inventory and I wrote
All
it
right,
down.
it's on my Google Drive. Let me go back to my
The-
documents from 2
Yep.
fucking years ago, mate.
Look
Also,
at you,
the ancient
Matthew, without
rune
your
sphere
AI.
was around the time when we got the frost rune, but I didn't know if that was a separate object, which I think it was.
You remember where that was?
3 years ago, by the way.
The ancient rune sphere, I have no idea. I didn't make a sub note on it, but I do also have that frost rune, which I forget what that does even, but I know that if you use it, it does something.
Fair enough.
Because we actually used those. Because it was one of the runes that we had that had You had the grow runes that grew things, and then we picked up these other runes.
Is that the one you got from the Rock Tavern?
Rune. The frost rune I ended up picking up from the pile of bones when we were fighting the goblin monsters.
Yeah, that's right.
The Goblin King down by the mushroom people.
Ah, shit. Welp.
Those got deleted.
Yeah.
These are very
How did that
mysterious
get
magical
deleted
items.
in
It will take me a
Drive?
full
A
day.
fortnight to figure out what these are. Come see me next week.
Yeah, we may have to retcon in some of this. I've told you what these.
That's what they are.
But Google Drive
Sorry.
doesn't delete things, right?
No, it doesn't, but I don't necessarily write great notes.
Row.
Every time we start moving forward, Wudao starts getting a little excited, and every time you guys stop to like talk to Alarin, or Yasi starts talking to Alarin, he's just like jonesing, like his legs like bouncing, and he's just like.
Ratscratch looks over at Wudao and does one of those like,
Yeah, we know. We see.
Yeah, okay.
Mhm.
Are they? My next out of game question is: do they know that each one of them, or are they on their own like fucking mission?
Where did you pick up the spider wand?
The spider wand was in that very first fight. Remember when we were in the halls in the dungeon? Yeah. We killed that spider lady, and no, she wasn't Duragar. She was
she was Drow.
Drow.
Yeah, she was Drow, and she had the Duragar with them.
Right.
That one I have.
Going for Mentor.
Yes.
Okay. Magical item requires attunement to use. Has 7 charges. You may use 1 action of its charges to cast the spell Web.
Yep.
The wand regains 1d6 plus 1 charges daily at dawn. If you expend the last charge, you roll a d20. On a 1, the wand crumbles into dust.
Spider-Man,
it is a wand of
Spider-Man.
web.
Limited use, Spider-Man.
No, you don't get to climb stuff. You shoot. Well, I guess. Well,
You could, depending on how clever you were with it. Most likely, you would just end up stuck to a wall a few feet off the ground, going, "God, I should have thought this through."
Well, the good news is I can attune to that because we have nothing we're attuned to right now. The shield counts as an attunement.
Shield for you does count as an attunement.
Okay. Well, that's the only thing I'm attuned to besides that. So cool. I'll tune
So-
below.
You got the sphere in the kobold's chamber?
From when it was written.
Did you get it in the library that you traveled to back in time, or did you get it from the kobold on top of the
that
pile
might
of
have been
bones?
them because when I wrote it in the list, I have in the list of things that I picked up, I have the 5 ledger book. So the ledger book of the 5, which I picked up when we were in the 5 tunnel. I have two vials, potion vials of web that we picked up along the way, and then I have the very next thing is Ancient Rune Sphere, and the very next thing I have after that is the Frost Rune, which would have been when
you got it inside of the library when you went back in time. Then you picked up one of the items off the shelf.
Okay.
Okay.
I don't know what it was.
Yeah.
I didn't know that stuff came with us, so.
Yeah. You were fully traveled there and back. It wasn't just a dream.
I thought we were in like a dream world, so I just wrote it down.
You literally were at a different point in time.
Oh, very
actually
fun.
There. I don't have the notes on it, but I do remember what I was going to do with it. So
okay. Cool.
He's told you what it does. You can have that the next time we play, since we're about to wrap up anyway. But just imagine he gave you a nice detailed explanation of that too.
Cool.
It is not an item you need to attune to.
Funsies.
Okay, are you all done taking advantages of my services, or is there? I'm just kidding, Kaydren. You asked nicely. I'm just a little bit stressed out about all of this.
I can.
Are we ready to potentially die? Too soon, maybe. Are we ready to teleport?
Yeah, I need a drink, and then let's.
I'm not too worried about it.
I'm gonna ask him then. Is
Lauren
there,
looks
like,
up at both of at you as you both say that and say, "These two are no longer permitted alcohol until I rescind this order." And all of the servants immediately stop serving you drinks.
I start crying. I actually shed a tear.
Straight up weeping. Just weep.
One of the servants that was carrying a jug of ale approaching you, the ale disappears from his hand and a little rag appears and he starts wiping the tears very slowly from you.
Can I just ask them then, like, is there anything they have here that they know of that they can do so that if I do come upon something in my research investigation that I can send that information over if it's urgent at all? Anything they
do
have?
any
A
of you
phone?
have any messaging spells?
Don't.
Real quick, though, I'm going to look at Alarin and say alcohol is where nearly 75% of my innate magical ability comes from. And I'm going to use a persuasion to do that.
Roll a con save first to see if you're drunk at this point.
Natural 20, sir. Natural 20.
Okay, you are not drunk, so you may roll your
He's been
persuasion.
fake drinking everybody.
straight.
Times he talks to Calla, he's like, hey.
I just run behind him and catch it.
That's an 11 plus 9. So, unnatural 20.
9.
Feels like cheating.
Yeah, it sure does, doesn't it?
Hard,
My charisma, way up there.
Yeah.
Very persuasive, I assume, since you're about to die anyway. One more can't hurt. One more
Exactly.
round for these two.
Thank you.
I look at Calla and just give her the finger guns.
I give him my back.
Bird.
Like, pull
As you all get up and
I'm
start walking
walking.
towards the room, Wudao, Ratscratch, you feel that thrill of excitement.
Yes.
We're going to the siphon.
Just me hanging
We're
out with
going to
Calla?
the
Siphon! Siphon!
Wait, did they give me a way to message anything? I told them I don't have
That's
message.
me.
Kaydren
We'll be
has
right
message,
back.
but it's a 3
In
level,
and out.
3 cost spell. It's too spicy.
In and
I
out.
don't-
2
In and
minutes
out.
tops.
2 minutes
Two
tops.
minutes. 2 minutes. Siphon. There
Young
and back.
Druid, we don't have any items that can augment our current messaging spells, though. If you reach us via message, we also can communicate that way. It's not perfect, but we do have some methods that we can try. I will send Key with you, though I would suggest you not use him as a carrier. I would suggest you use him as a
Key?
escape
key.
route.
No, Key is staying. Oh, is he not staying with me? He's going with the group.
He's bringing
Yeah.
us back. 2-minute
Okay.
adventure. Smash and grab. In and out. Back in no time.
I do have sending, so, but I don't know if that works across universes.
But,
We're not in a different universe, though, right?
hopefully you'll be in the same universe, Master Kaydren.
Well, yeah,
okay,
but
I'm just
you're
gonna
in this-
research.
you're
Surely
in-
there's nothing-
your researcher's tower and the mansion, two different things. You'll be
Yeah,
in your
the
tower,
researcher's
so then we don't
tower-
have to worry about it. Okay.
Would just be the researcher's logs in the current space.
That is correct, Master Kaydren. We will stay in
Okay.
the studies so that we are not in the pocket plane that is this location. Shall we move to the teleportation circle?
Oh, I can still contact you even if you are in a different plane. There's only a 5% chance that the message doesn't arrive. So
Nothing's ever gone wrong with a 5% chance before.
no, but
Well,
I
I won't
just
be
was
able to
reading the
send you
thing.
any
He would know,
messages
so
back,
it's
but
just-
it should be okay. Nothing. I can't discover anything that crazy, right?
Well, presumably you could talk to. This is DM speaking outside of. Presumably you could talk amongst each other and then use one of the group to message back and kind of play phone tag a little bit there.
Well, I'm gonna stay at the facility.
Why?
So how would I send them any message?
Oh, you're not gonna go with the.
No,
You're
I
not
thought
gonna
I specified. I'm gonna research here to figure out if I can find out who stole the siphon, who might be behind this.
Okay.
Well, they just because from my perspective, they're just zip-zooping in and out. Like,
Then
Yep,
fair enough.
Then
No
Key is
problem.
coming
Yeah.
with
Yeah,
us.
it's gonna
I mean,
be-
yeah, and
gonna
Keys
be
helping
a-
them. So I'm
sorry,
just gonna
I
try
totally
to.
misunderstood.
adventure, no problem.
We'll be
right?
right with you, young Yasi. And if you need to, we can communicate to your companions.
Perfect.
Absolutely no problem. And in fact, and both of them are very warmed up to the fact that you are not going to go. out, and instead you want to stay in research?
Love
Well,
reading.
we are
Mystery
primed
solving.
and set up for all manners of research. You know, I have a favorite spot in my study that I like to use. I will show it to you.
I do that
Just
thing
people
people
say I'm
do.
trying
my
to
research
research for
nook.
Just
myself.
please try not to kill any of my servants.
I do that thing though where I lick my fingers so I can flip through paper faster.
You feel this tinge of magic as the liquid that was on your finger seems to disappear.
What liquid? Oh, my saliva? My saliva! Why did it
Your
disappear?
fingers look much cleaner than they were a second ago, too.
I don't understand.
There's just like magic kind of swirling around you, cleaning
Wait,
you as
like
you
when
walk
I
along.
licked my finger to flip through paper? What? No, it wasn't wet anymore.
Out of context, they're casting prestidigitation to protect
on
their
you.
stuff.
Yep.
They're cleaning you as you walk along.
That's hilarious.
She's like a cat with a laser pointer.
I like that you had no idea. This is weird. What's going on?
I just was like, what happened? Is my saliva purified?
We're
I
gonna
don't
come
know.
back and she's completely clean and not covered in dirt and matted hair. It'll be all
Sad.
complete makeover.
First that
Yeah.
day. Oh my god, it'll be like my makeover
Little
scene,
glasses
and then
on.
everyone's like,
Yeah.
wow, is that what Yasi really looks like? So beautiful. And then
Like
Wudao will actually
like
fall
Little
in love with
Mermaid when
Yasi.
she gets her voice back, just oh.
Yeah, or like when Hermione Granger comes down the
She
stairs
hasn't been
and they're
combing
like,
her hair
wow,
with a
she's
bone.
beautiful. Anywho, yeah, I'm gonna stay back and like see if I can figure out what the how the siphon was stolen from the researchers, who might have been behind it,
Okay.
kind of figure out who's running this show.
Okay. Yeah,
Uh,
absolutely.
As we leave, just before we close, I'm going to, using Yasi's voice, stitch together the phrase, "Wudao, I'll be waiting for you."
Never said the word waiting.
Well,
You
now
sure
I wait
have
for you.
at some point.
No, not in
You
this
sure
whole
have.
session.
You
Hot
definitely
pants.
have.
This session, no.
It doesn't matter. He
But
can say it as
past
many times he's
sessions.
ever heard you say it.
Yep.
Well, I mean, the reality is, Wudao knows my mouth isn't moving. I'm like,
Actually, I don't say Wudao, I say Owl Man. I will be waiting
Oh,
for you.
man. I'll be waiting for you.
he knows.
Make a deception check, Ratscratch.
That one insight check.
Deception? You got it.
Yeah, make a deception. Let's see how well this plays
That was
out.
a 16
No.
plus 6.
Yeah.
Do I hear that? Because
yes,
then I'm
you
just
do.
like, Ratscratch, stop it. Because I
Somehow,
know it's
it literally
Ratscratch.
sounds like Yasi is just saying, "Oh man."
It sounds like Yasi's arguing
waiting
with
for
herself a
you.
little bit.
Well, I'm gonna tell Ratscratch to stop it. I'm like, shut up, Ratscratch. Don't listen to Wudao. I definitely am not into you.
Are you doing the unless? I'm
Oh,
definitely
really?
not into you. Unless.
No.
I add unless at the end after what she says.
Said the word unless during this entire campaign.
You do.
I don't use that word. I can't remember that in real life. That might be the
disagree.
first time I've ever
You've
used it
You've used a
IRL.
lot of words.
You're
All
reading
right,
and
internet,
researching right
scour
now. I
every
think you
video
know the word
you've seen
unknown.
of us and see if Neuralink
I'm just
said
like, I
unless.
can't deal with this. I have research to do, and I lick
Your
my finger
mission.
again, and I'm ready to go.
All right, Yasi, you are led to this study with Alarin, who goes briefly into the caravan and retrieves correspondence and other letters that he hopes are useful, or reports that he received during his time as one of the Council of the Researchers. The rest of you join Thalrin in a small room, and he begins an incantation that causes various glyphs across the floor to light up. He makes strange, sighing noises, or odd as he's casting, but
no.
it seems to work properly. Kaydren manages to let out a solid "oh no" as you feel this
Totally
lurch in
normal.
your stomach. You all successfully teleport and take 2 points of damage as you end up in the same room that is being used for storage of all the items that you had been in previously.
Oh shit!
The glyph is actually on the floor in that room. You take the damage because the stuff is piled on top of the glyph,
Oh,
so
oh.
you bounce into it in a atoms recombining
'cause
magically
Yasi
sort of
fucking
way.
tossed the
It
place.
does
Right.
not feel great to have your body
right. It's
reappear
fine.
in the same space as other objects. magic sorts that out for you, but it is not a painless process. So there's a little bit of bumps and bruises. You feel like a lot of inanimate objects have slapped you pretty hard here and there. But you've made it. You were in the room. The whispers and the whisper crying or whisper yelling around you is present. Otherwise, all is as it was before. And we will leave it on that note, as I see we're at the end of our hard stop tonight.
Yep.
As you guys, the only thing I will say is that Wudao, Ratscratch,
You take extra damage.
it feels so satisfying to be moving and so close to the siphon. You can almost hear it whispering to you now.
So it's Calla, me, Wudao, and Ratscratch, right?
Mhm.
Yep. Okay.
Are they with Valrin?
Against
Is
the
Valrin
world.
with
With Valrin, yeah.
Valrin did not go. He
just took
used
us
the
right
circle
now.
to send you
Oh,
down.
that's
Yeah.
right. I've got the only way
caster
that
has
can
to stay
contact them.
We have key. We have key. We have key. Don't we have key?
No,
We have key.
You have key as
I
your
thought I was
method of
sending a
return.
message to Key. Oh, okay.
No. I thought, I'm sorry, I made the mistake there. I thought Yasi was going with you guys, so Key was going to go to be your return route and do the messaging. Yasi now will communicate with you all through Alarn
Key.
or
Oh,
Valrin.
okay.
You guys have Key as the escape route. He can use his recall spell to take you back to the tower.
Oh,
I
I
also
see.
have sending, so
Key
we could
to our
use that
escape.
as a backup if we need to.
I too have sending, so
Ooh,
Excellent.
you can use that as a
Three
backup.
What could possibly go wrong with a split party and two of the non-split party under the influence of an artifact which they're all happily marching towards? Tune in
They're
next
all so
week to
close
find
to
out
each
more.
other.
But speaking of which, we will not be playing next week as Nerali and I will be traveling. The following week is the 27th of
Is
December.
the Christmas, whatever, some holiday.
Yes.
It's some holiday next that week. Yeah.
I think
We could do a Christmas special. I'm on board.
Christmas special.
I think I could play on the 27th or pretty much any day up until the 27th.
Merry Chrysler.
I think we're traveling the
Happy Honda
28th,
Days.
so maybe not. But should we keep the 27th down tentatively for now, or should we
Yeah.
try
100%.
I mean,
26 maybe?
I'll be on my laptop because I'll be out already, So, but
Okay.
I can bring.
Let's
my
just
dice with me.
it might be a hiatus for a couple of weeks as we go through the holidays, but no big deal if that has to be the case. But let's just keep posting in the Discord if we want to get a game together.
Can we wear Christmas hats? Please, even if it be after Christmas.
You
I
wanna
have
wear
access
Christmas
to
hats?
any, but you can.
You want to wear Christmas cats?
I want Christmas cats.
Hat miss.
Oh, that reminds me. I
Madness.
gotta change the Discord icon to the thumb wearing a Christmas hat.
Yes, you do. Yes, you do.
Crema cats. Crema cats.
Merry Christmas.
Good news, Ryan. Too is I'll probably in the next couple of weeks be able to work on some character stuff. So yay!
Awesome.
Cool.
All right, I'm gonna end the stream. Say bye, stream.
Bye, stream.